Testing the mic. Testing the mic. I'm testing the mic now.
Slay, yes, mama.
Hello, I am Malik. I am single. I am about to turn 27. And I have no friends. Dun, dun, dun. You heard that right. I don't have any friends. Oh, shit. Oh, crap. Okay. So today's video is about me not having any friends and giving you some overview or some background, I must say, on why that is and why that is not the worst thing in the world for me right now as a future 27-year-old in less than a month, 19 days to be exact. But today I wanted to dive into why it is okay to not have friends in your 20s, I guess late 20s, as you become a fully fledged adult with a fully fledged job, paying fully fledged bills in a fully fledged apartment that you also have to pay off each month. So I'm going to dive into that today, and hopefully you enjoy the video and you stick around and you like and you share and you subscribe. Thank you. I first want to start off this episode segment with just some videos that I found on TikTok that I feel like that would be very helpful to the overarching thing of not having friends and different perspectives. So I just pulled some videos that I thought that would be kind of some collective videos that I thought would be pretty good at explaining why different people don't have friends, and then kind of giving my feedback or my interpretation or my commentary, that's the word, my commentary on what I think about that. So we're going to jump into that now. I'm going to show you some videos that I found that I thought were kind of funny, were introspective, and were kind of prompted me to do this video on the friendless generation that we have of early, young people now, and nobody having friends, and friends being an illusion to us now.
According to Psychology Today, 73% of Gen Z reports that they don't have any friends and feel completely lonely. And I know that's true because I see you guys in my comments saying the same thing. So let's talk about it. There are a couple of factors that are contributing to this generation being lonelier than ever, and quite frankly, it breaks my heart. A couple of months ago, came across a YouTube video of a kid who was 25, and he was talking about how he had no friends. That video hit some 1 million views, something like that. And the comments, there were thousands of people in the comments that were like, oh, I'm 25 or younger, and I also have no friends. Oddly enough, I was so heartbroken by seeing that I was like, wait a minute, what if I made a Facebook group and dropped the link in this YouTube video? What would happen? Would all the lonely people get together in a group and not be lonely? That Facebook group now has 500 people in it. And so it's almost like a social experiment that made me realize people really are lonely. And I figured out what's happening. Number one is, past the age of, let's say, 18 or even 21, if you've graduated college, all of your built-in social mechanisms are gone. So in high school, you're forced to be with your friends every day. In college, you live with those friends, right? There's built-in social systems. You have to hang out. They're your neighbors, right? You're going to study together. You all have the same class. So you get together for study dates. You probably work in the same neighborhoods, blah, blah, blah. Even in our early careers, right? A lot of times we make friends with people that we work with because everyone is single. We all work at the same place. We're here every day. Let's be friends. Then a really curious thing starts happening around 22, 23, 24, 25, which is that people start getting in serious relationships that are long-term. People start getting married and people start having kids, which means that even the people that you work with that were your social circle, now they have to go home and walk their dog and feed their kid, and they have to go home and be with their husband. So they're not going to be out at happy hour every night with you. And eventually these social interactions get lesser and lesser and lesser, because even though you're in the same social place with these people, i.e. work, everyone has separate lives that are starting to stack up on one another. The other thing though, social media, right? We're connected to a lot more people, but the relationships are not deepening. So you may have a lot of people following, but you're not actually deepening the relationship and creating a friendship offline. Something else that I thought was interesting about the Psychology Today article was that they said the ability to learn stuff online is actually part of what's breaking down our social circles, because before you had to go ask a friend or a neighbor or a mentor or your teacher or whatever to teach you something, and now you can just go to YouTube. So technology is actually lessening all the reasons that we deal with people. And so it's making everyone lonelier than ever. And so if you feel like you don't have any friends, you're actually not weird. You're not alone. You're a part of 73% of people that feel that way. But I would like to discuss what the hell we can do, because this makes me very sad. So drop down in the comments. Do you guys want a link to that Facebook group? Should we be doing Zoom calls, chats, whatever the crap? Let's figure it out, because loneliness can really hurt your mental health. And I don't want y'all to be sad. Love you.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so I really love that video because it gives like a look into the social aspects of this friendlessness generation from like a person. She looks like she would be like, a generation back from my generation, I guess, a little bit older than me. But just to see her take on what's going on. And the video that she was referring to is this video that went viral, I guess, for this black guy, young, same age as me, basically, who just basically just said he doesn't have any friends, and he kind of went into the reasons why. I didn't really watch that video, but I watched, the beginning, and from what I got, it was like he got a lot of support, which is good. As a black man, it's good for to be supported. That's friendlessness is something that affects men, I feel like, more statistically, and minorities, obviously, because we are minorities to a majority population. So I was glad that he got, support for that. But so to basically add to what the video that we just watched together, I do agree that technology and social media is ruining a lot of social aspects. It is a good tool for connection, but I do think it is ruining things like genuine connection with each other. She did mention that everything is about a follow, a like, influence, popularity. Nothing is about like creating actual genuine bonds with each other. Social media is not set up like that. It's set up to commercialize everything and to capitalize on eyes and attention. So it commodifies, in my opinion, real, genuine relationships. Everybody wants to follow, everybody wants to be liked, and nobody actually wants to be friends with each other. So to answer a question about things that we can do is to change social media to, which in a perfect world, I would say, but to kind of switch the tone of social media to something that is more inclusive to everybody. There's a lot of, I guess, groups or niches on social media that I think exclude groups. So that will affect you finding friends, because friends are not a subset of characteristics that you shouldn't put your ideals of a friend in a box. A friend can be anybody. I've made friends in the most uncertain places. Times when I was living in my car, when I had money, when I didn't have money. I just met different people when I was in different places. When I lived in different places, I met people that I never thought I would be friends with, but I wind up having great relationships with. So I think making social media more inclusive would help with that. I think it would help me, in my situation, I'm not a social media guru. I am just existing. I like to browse social media. I do use it, but I try to use social media. I try to allot time to use social media. I don't want it to overtake my life. So um, I'm not really concerned with building fans and followers. I'm more concerned with building relationships with people. So I've went the organic route, you could say, of just trying to find things to do around where I live at. Um, I currently live in North Carolina, so I think North Carolina has a pretty good balance of, of different populations, I guess. So that's something I could do better at as well, is actually getting out there and meeting different people, going to local events, going to like my local coffee shop and chatting up the baristas and chatting up the customers that go there. That's something that I want to work on doing. But I did like that video and how she kind of laid everything out to figure out what's going on, because 73% of people in this generation are friendless or struggling with making friends, and that is very concerning. So we do want to make sure that we are keeping an open mind when we are looking for friends and not having ideals of what we think would be a good friend, and just getting to know people, because that's what life's about. So I like that one. Okay, we're going to go to the next video, which is a little bit shorter, but this is from a perspective of people who are actually in this generation, like younger people, 20s, young 20s, late 20s. So we're going to get into that now.
Why the prettiest females always got no friends?
Because people are jealous of us. I don't care. You know what? I'm tired of being humble about this. People are insecure. People are jealous. And let you be a woman of color, let you be plus size, ooh, then they really don't like that confidence. We live in our own little beautiful bubble where we don't have to compete with nobody. What is there to compete for? Why do I have to compete? Me? Compete with anybody? For what? So when you have that attitude, someone who's insecure, they might be attracted to the light that's in you, but then when they get close enough, they want to snuff it out. And they don't like that I'm always going to win. I'm always going to be good. It doesn't matter how you try to come at me, I'm always going to win. And they can't handle that. That's really it. I'm tired of trying to find a deeper meaning, babes. That's it. That's it.
Oh, Lord. So that is something, I really enjoyed that video. So that's something that another kind of pattern I saw, like with women, and then the men who were having the friendlessness issue. So women was more emotion based, which makes sense. So with women, it was more like insecurity, like with jealousy of other people or women, and confidence, insecurity. So these are like patterns that I saw from TikTok. I'm going to show you another video that I saw that was kind of relates to the video that we just saw. It was I want to pull it up really quickly and I want to show it really quickly. But it's from a girl, another girl, and then she was kind of like giving her reason why she doesn't have friends. So we're going to get into that now, so I can kind of explain it better.
Alright, so somebody was asking, like, why you ain't got no friends? Let me tell y'all honestly why I don't have no friends. Like, for one, I hate females I gotta watch. If I gotta watch you, nah, we not friends. We not friends. I'm not babysitting. Like, if I gotta make sure you not backdooring me, if I see that in you, no, we can never be friends. If I done seen you slaughter one of your friends on social media, tell her business, I'll never be your friend. Because I see what you're capable of doing. No, I'll never tell you none of my business. Females that I gotta spice myself down around. Like, I'm getting dressed and she be like, you know, like I'm too spiced up. Like I'm shitting on her. If you don't get spicy, that's not my problem. I hate being friends with the thirsty girl out the party. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like they automatically assume I'm on that too. Like it's a 2-man. Is that what they call it? I was never really sure about that 2-man, 3-man shit. And I really just need a ride or die bitch. We supposed to be taking shit to the grave. They supposed to find out this shit after we was dead. Like, oh yeah, they did that back in 2022. Okay, like why the fuck is y'all be exposing shit too fast for me? The shit still be new, still be hot. We ain't let that shit like y'all. And then I also don't got no friends because a lot of females be getting intimidated by me. And it's not even about like, oh, I think I'm cute. But it's like, they feel like I'm mean. But it's not mean. It's just like, you know I'm not going for no goofy shit. That's what it be. Like, you know I'm just not going for none of that. You come over here, act correct accordingly. We could nonchalant kiki up, keep it cool. A lot of y'all bitches are scandalous ass friends. A lot of y'all bitches use y'all fucking friends. And that's what it be too. You're not going to use me for too long. Might one or twice. 1 or 2 times. But...
So that is the second video on that. So, so basically, intimidation, not being a ride or die, and yeah. So basically everything, I guess, with how the young women feel in this generation with friends is that it's just very competitive. I think that's the big word I guess I'm looking for, is very competitive. They feel like they're getting to these friendships and it's like it's a little bit too much. You know, you never know. You have to always keep a lookout for if somebody is like trying to backstab you or something, which is really sad. That not trusting people, that's something that I am working on as well, because I kind of feel what they're saying a little bit when it comes to, because attractiveness in the society is becoming more important to just everything. Attractiveness is being attractive and good looking is also becoming something that is commodified in this world, the more and more, you know, with social media. So how you look really does change how people treat you, and it's just what it is. Plus size, normal size, skinny, black, white, purple, tan, you know, short, tall, man, woman, gay, straight, you know, who things like that are starting to become very, I guess, are starting to be blown up to how people see. So how people perceive others in this generation is starting to become very noticeable. So I think it's cool how these women, well, I don't think it's cool, but I think it's interesting how these women are kind of spreading light on how competitive people are. But I do want to get into like 2 more of like, I guess, a guy's perspective on having no friends and why that is. So we're going to get into that now.
The reason why no one likes you and you have no friends, chances are you display one of these characteristics, if not all of them. If you always display negative emotions, then no one's gonna feel comfortable around you to spend time with you and be your friend. Negative emotions include anger, jealousy, bitterness. Everyone has their ups and downs in life, but you can't blame the people around you for avoiding you if you're always negative. Number 2, you don't understand social cues at all. Let's say you're talking to someone and they're not paying much attention to you, they're looking away constantly, they're checking their time, they're yawning, they're fidgeting, and in this instance you continue yapping, then they're gonna get very bored of you and not want to spend more time with you. You need to remember that everyone has different interests, and if you don't understand these body language cues, then people are gonna get sick of you. The next characteristic is that you're selfish. If every time you talk to them or every time you spend time with them it's always about you, they're gonna slowly cut you out of their life. A friendship is meant to be reciprocal. You're meant to be there for them as much as they are for you. Obviously sometimes there might be conversations where it's more steered towards one person, but there's a balance and it works both ways. One more characteristic I have to add is that you're rude. Friendship is supposed to be a positive complement to your life. If you're constantly putting them down and you're rude to them, then what are you doing? Obviously there's playful banter and things like that, but if you're always rude to them, then they're not going to want to be your friend. There's definitely more characteristics I can talk about. Let me know if you want me to make a part 2 and follow me for more.
So that's the first video. I'm gonna only do 2 of these because I was looking on TikTok and I was like scouring. I was like, I need to find like a guy that's on TikTok that's just talking about why he doesn't have friends. And I couldn't really find anything. I was finding a lot of videos like the video that I just showed you, where it's just a guy on a podcast type of thing, and he's just like listing out reasons for guys why they are literally friendless, which is a little sad because it's not like personal. Like the women, they were just like, you know, talking to their phone, kind of having like a random thought and just recording it. But for the guys, it's like they have this like these professional setups, and they're just like, 1, you're a jerk. 2, you're lame. 3, you can't get laid. 4, you're fat. I'm just like, dang. It's hard out here for a man. It really is. So we're going to get into the second video that I found. It was kind of like the same setup. Give me 1 second.
If you have no friends, it's probably because you're a loser. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean that nobody sees any point in hanging out with you. You're not providing them any value. You have low value. They don't want to be around you because you're either too annoying, or you're too boring, or you're just not that likable. Maybe you don't even like yourself, right? A lot of what makes people likable is them liking themselves, because when you like yourself, you're confident. You put yourself in social situations. You speak more. You're more socially adept. And through being around others, you learn how to be funny, likable, charismatic, and then they want to spend more time with you. But if you don't do any of those things, then you're not going to have any of those qualities, and then nobody's going to hang out with you, all right? So don't think that there's a problem with everybody else, okay? The problem is usually with you, but that's okay, because you can get better.
Okay, that's that on that. He said what he had to say. So he said a lot. I mean, he was very blunt, which I do appreciate. But yeah, I think those, just the format of the videos, like with the women just talking to the camera and just letting people know, hey, this is why I think that I don't have many girlfriends or, you know, friends in general. Maybe because it's this, and then the guys is just like, for like the male perspective, it's very like straightforward, like, you're a loser. You know, just the words and the way that the word, you know, the way that the format of the video is, I can see why when a guy or a man does talk about, like a young man, 20-year-old man talks about why he doesn't have friends, it blows up, because I do feel like men don't talk about that enough or as frequently as a woman or a young woman. So yeah, something we can change. We can make it more, we should make our spaces in social media more accepting of men who actually want to talk about their emotions and how they feel. Another thing that I found is with women saying, this is why I can't be friends with men. Blank, 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 blank. And then men talking about, this is why I can't be friends with women. Blank, 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 blank. And it's always relating to the possibility of something else happening, which I think should change as well, because it should be fine for a man to befriend a female and a female to do the same thing to a male, to befriend a male, vice versa. I think when you start putting restrictions on who you can be friends with, who you can be cordial with, platonically, that's when things start to get like, we start to put ourselves in boxes. And once we start putting ourselves in boxes, what happens, people? Nobody wins. Nobody wins. So, but I did enjoy watching those videos. For me personally, I am kind of in the middle. I do feel like everybody's hella competitive and petty when it comes to friendships. These days, we have made it like that with social media, where everything is very flaky and temporary. Nobody makes initiative. And when initiative is made, it is very, very, what's the word for that? It's just not giving. So the effort is not giving what it's supposed to give with the friendships, the young friendships. So me going into my 30s soon, I'm about to be 27. I'm getting up there. I'm becoming an old man. I'm taking time. I made a specific effort to take time to not force anything. I want everything in my life to be organic and intentional. So even with my friendships, I want everything to flow. So there was a period of time when I had a lot of friends when I was like 25. You know, just got a job, just got my job. I was making some money. Life was good. I had friends, I guess. And then there was a time where I didn't meet as many people around me as I did have. So when I got into like 26 and getting in my job, trying to work my way up in my job, and moving, you know, on my own, you know, moving somewhere by myself, for the first time, really, these things kind of contributed to me not having people around me. And I can say it is one of the best things ever to be friendless temporarily. We do need people, community in life. That is how life works. We are social animals, so we do need to be around people. But to know yourself as well is very important, and to have time allotted in your life in your 20s, in this age, I think is very important to not make a negative reason why you don't have friends. Sometimes it's just not the season. Sometimes the reason is because it's not your season. So this is not my season. Like, I feel like God wants me to just be kind of solo dolo. And then when I'm ready to pop out and have all these friends, I can be able to mentally process friendships, because friendships are just like relationships, romantic relationships. They take time, they take energy, they take readjusting, they take compromise. So I do feel like when I am in that position, when I am social, more around people and making more friends and hanging out more, that is when I'll be able to kind of handle that situation and be in a good mind state, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, to do that. So that is the video on why I don't have friends, because it's just not the time right now. And I am okay with that. And I feel like as you get older, you become more accepting of things that you can't control. Some things are just not working out for you right now because it's not your time right now. But fill your time while you're friendless and single, I guess. I'm going to do another video on singlehood as well. But spend your time while you're single and friendless to actually become the person that you would want to be friends with. I think that's the most important thing. So you always want to make sure you are leading a healthy life and setting boundaries and retaining healthy relationships with your family and the people that you do have in your life. So if somebody does come in your life to better it, hopefully, you can have the tools you need to foster that relationship. So yes, all my friendless Gen Zers, it's okay. You're friendless, but you are loved. And that is it for this video. Again, if you did enjoy the video, I do hope you stick around and like the video, or I might choke you. And subscribe and follow for more. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.